Good morning and welcome everyone to the Mechanics Institute. My name is Abel Talamantes. I'm the chess director of the Mechanics Institute, and we are here covering the Mechanics Institute Summer Championship, which is part of Chess Fest, which is going to be 4 events that we're holding this weekend. And what has just started at 10 a.m. is the main event, which is a 6-round game in 60 plus 5 Swiss championship. The pairings are done manually by USCF rating, so players have been able to request buys and what have you. So the round started at 10 a.m. So the games are underway. Also, behind the scenes doing all the tournament directing is Mechanics Institute General Manager of Youth Outreach and Events, Dr. Judith Starry. So she's got the tournament going smooth and under control. The event's top seed so far is Grandmaster Alexander Lenderman, and his first round is against Ayan Zaman, and this is the game that we're looking at right now. And let me just say welcome to everyone. So if you have any questions in the chat, feel free to put them in there. This is going to be kind of a long day because FIDE Master Paul Whitehead is going to join in at about 1 o'clock at the start of round 2. And tomorrow we're actually going to also have Grandmaster Patrick Wolf. He will join in, I believe, near the final 2 rounds tomorrow. So that'll be exciting. It was kind of a modest turnout for the main event. It's a 2-day event, so it's 3 rounds today, 3 rounds tomorrow. We only have 20 players, which was a little bit of a surprise. We expected a little bit more, but I mean, it's good for us to know because it either had to do with the longer time control because it was G60 plus 5, or it had to do with the fact that it was a 2-day event rather than a 1-day event. So anyone who has an opinion on that and wants to give any feedback, feel free to let us know because it's good for us to know. I thought it would be a cool idea, but I guess some players, my guess is that it's because it was a 2-day event, but so we'll see. And then tonight we are going to have the Summer Blitz Championship, and that's going to be starting at 7 p.m. That's going to be a 9-round G3 plus 2, even though it's 9 rounds, because it is G3 plus 2, it'll probably last a couple hours, and we're going to cover that also. So we got a long night of chess. I actually expect that one to have some stronger players because they're going to want the action. So we'll see about that. And then tomorrow, like I said, we're going to have the second day of this main event, and then we're going to have a Fisher Random tournament that's free in the evening. That'll be fun. But the real big event tomorrow is the Kids Championship. So we're going to have a Kids Championship on Chess Kid, and we actually have a lot of players for that. I mean, we may even have as many as 60 for that one, so that's kind of exciting, maybe even more. So the Kids Championship has a lot of players, and that's tomorrow. That starts at 3 p.m. That'll be on Chess Kid. And so that's it. 4 events this weekend, kicking off with this one. We're seeing Grandmaster Alexander Lenderman against Ayan Zaman in this game. Let me take a look here. So far, he is up a pawn, but he's probably up in position also. We do have 2 early results. So this is game in 60 plus 5. Round 2 starts at 1 p.m. But we do have 2 quick results. One of them was this game. It was Felix German winning against it was Luke Wajaja, and let's just go back to see kind of the finale. Felix is a regular mechanics player. He's pretty good. He's an A player, but he's probably expert level strength. The ratings you see there reflect chess.com rating because he's actually closer to like 1900 USCF. And so he's threatening mate there. Luke defends by pushing f4. The knight comes in, and that's threatening mate. Pushes h3. And look at that. That's a beautiful shot because the pawn cannot capture because of the pin by the bishop on b7. And I mean, that's going to be all she wrote because after king g1, queen h2 is mate. So nice job by Felix. Another game that ended early is this game. It's funny that this is Alan Finkelstein against Nursultan Uzakbayev. And it's funny because the Mechanics Institute newsletter came out yesterday. I was able to get it released yesterday. And if you've been following it the last few weeks, Paul has been doing articles on king marches, and he's done another one. I think it's part 5 for this week, and I'm looking at the board and I'm seeing king march right there. So let's see how this went down. So Alan Finkelstein, he's a Scholastic player. I think he's like in high school, and he's around 2000 strength, I think, USCF, but so he's coming in, putting a lot of pressure on the knight there on c6, 5. Oh, that was a blunder right there because Nursultan goes bishop b4. Must have forgotten that the knight is pinned. So the queen just picks it off there. Moves over, king d8, gets out of the pin. And because that's the way for him to get out of the pin because he couldn't castle because of the queen on b4. Delivers a check there, and just starts driving the king out. Oh, there's that check, and that's it. There you have it. So Alan Finkelstein gets it done quick. And then another game that ended already is Alejandro Canales. He's like, I think he's like 1700 USCF. He was playing Eric Thomas Black. And let's take a look at this. I think in this game there was a big rating disparity. But there's always something to be learned from all games, so hopefully Eric takes a look and can learn what happened. But let's check it out. Alejandro's black. Delivers a check. Yep, and then here it comes, and then there's a mate right there. So 3 games ending quick. Let's take a look at Rachel Tiong. She got a half-point buy in this round, and Elliot Winslow. He's getting a point for the round. And let's jump to see Adam Mercado. He is playing here, and let's jump to that game. This is Adam Mercado against James Lesensky. And Adam Mercado is white. He is an action player. He's around high 1700 strength. And regular at the Tuesday Night Marathon at the Mechanics Institute. And this is the current position. So there's a lot of chess action going on in the world right now. Also at 10 a.m. started the semifinals of the online chess Olympiad. And the semifinalists were India, Poland, which was kind of a surprise. They had beat, I think it was Azerbaijan, they defeated. And then India just put an absolute beatdown on Poland. They won 4.5 to 1.5. Anand beat Duda. Vidit beat Gajewski. Humpy Konaru beat Monica Sacco, and it was a pretty dominant performance, like all the way around. So it looks like India is advancing to the final. The other semifinal is Russia against the United States, and that is happening right now. So as I'm following that, I'll keep everyone posted. Representing the U.S., Wesley So is playing Alexander Grischuk. Sam Shanklin is playing Nepomniachtchi. Carissa Yip against Goryachinka. Chris Zatonsky against Kostenyuk. Jeffries Young against Esipenko, and Annie Wang against Shuvalova. So that has just started. There's no results in. We'll keep everyone posted. I mentioned that the newsletter had come out. Actually, the captain of the U.S. Olympic team is former MI chess director John Donaldson. He wrote an article, kind of an update, and it's in this newsletter. So if you're curious about the newsletter and want to read it, I want to put the link so you can see it. You should definitely subscribe to it. We put a lot of news, and we're having, a lot of great articles. Paul Whitehead, Nick DeFermian, they all contribute to the newsletter. So I'm gonna put that there. So game is over. I'll let Judith answer that question. My guess is you won't need to report it, but I don't want to speak to her, only because we'll be able to track the games here. And that's Ashik Uzman who finished the game. So let's take a peek on the ending of that. But Ashik is white. And then there was a resignation there because there's no way for the pawn can't advance without being captured and promote. The king is blocking the other pawn from promoting. There's no way to maneuver the king in a way to make any kind of progress. So there was a resignation there. Good job, Ashik Uzman. I'm looking at some of the games going on. Let me find one. And Ayan Zaman is still fighting against GM Lenderman, so we'll keep it on that game. Yes, and Judith is saying no, you don't have to report it. Because it's a handful of games, we can easily see the results, and Judith will be able to grab those results easily. So for any player, you do not have to report. We can see what's going on there, and then go from there. I just got my Chess Life in the mail yesterday, and I was kind of like flipping through it, and we had Sophia Rode and Kimberly Du on our chess social yesterday, which was a lot of fun. Usually when we go to the U.S. Open for the delegates meeting, I'm always running into both of them, and we're hanging out. And so it was kind of fun to see them. I guess one of the things that was the most eventful in the U.S. Chess Delegates meeting this year was not just the passing of the rules for online play, which is great for us as tournament organizers to have actual official rules and not the Wild West, as a lot of people like to say. But they actually established a nominating committee, which was interesting because it sort of all came about, during the delegates meeting, because they're looking to try to recruit and identify qualified, capable executive board members of the future, but also a committee that will look to identify people with diverse backgrounds that can represent, greater interests in chess and of the population. So it was really interesting because I had nominated Sophia Rode to that committee. She was actually nominated by several people also. So it's kind of an interesting process because, I think it's a great idea to have a committee looking to identify and recruit talented individuals that would make good qualified board members. But then, we had a discussion that, with that, there's a lot of power and responsibility with being on that committee, because I can imagine that a lot of people will try to lobby the people on the nominating committee that they should have some consideration, or want to go to dinner to talk about why they might be a good candidate. So I'm wondering if there will be some rules in terms of what can and can't be done by nominating committee members, and if anyone reaches out to someone that's on the nominating committee, whether it's something that everyone on the nominating committee needs to know about. So it'll be interesting, but there's some really good people that have been nominated, so I'm kind of excited, and I like that this is a positive step in being proactive to not only identify good quality people that would make good board members, or that we think would make good board members, but to actively have as part of the mission looking to recruit a more diverse and representative board. So we'll see how that goes. There's actually a special delegate meeting in September where we vote on these people, and there's good people up for the committee. I think it's like 9 in total for 6 seats. So that'll be interesting. So here we are. Lenderman's looking to put a lot of pressure on Ion, especially on the C7 square. That's a pretty powerful knight there on F5. We'll see what ends up happening. Mansour Mohammed won his game. So that game is over. He defeated... Oops. All right, let me look that up. So if anyone wants to see the... let me put it in the chat. If anybody wants to see the pairings and even the details of the event for this weekend, I just put the link up there. We have Mansour played Danny Cow and won that game. So we actually only have 4 games left in the round. It's funny because it's a game in 60 plus 5. It's a long time control, but these games are being played like they're like G10. And if you look at this game, whoops. Yeah, we have a Danny Cow and a Daniel Cow, so that's interesting. So this is Danny Cow. Mansour beat Daniel Cow, and we're on move 12 here, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games that are done already. So with all the blitz events we have in Rapid, I think players are still used to playing pretty quick chess. So. Another game here is Stuart Katz. Stuart Katz out of Sacramento, I believe, playing Ted Wang. And I know Stuart appreciates the slower time control. I know he used to enjoy playing the quads that we used to have. And taking a peek at the Olympiad, Nepomniachtchi defeated Sam Shanklin. Actually, yeah, that was him. Yeah. So Russia's up 1-0 in their game. And just a quick peek, it looks like Wesley So is he's winning against Grischuk. So this will be a close match. I'll keep everyone posted. Let's do a check-in on Lenderman Zaman. Yeah, this is tough. I mean, especially Black's Knight on A8 is not positioned the best, and yeah, that's a lot of pressure right there. A lot of pressure. Let's take a peek at this game with Adam Mercado, because I feel like there's a lot of action going on right there. And for if anyone's watching, it's not too late. If you want to play the Blitz tonight, we actually and Mansour is in the chat. He's been going crazy with chess, just doing chess all the time. And Judith, Judith's like really awesome with the follow-ups. So if a player needs a reminder of something, she immediately reaches out and gets a hold of them. So the Chess Fest that we're doing this weekend, this is sort of like the last big event that we're doing for a little while, other than the TNM. The Tuesday night marathon will not restart this week. The next one will start the following week. All the information's already updated on our site. We're going to do a Tuesday night online free this Tuesday. So anyone that's part of the Mechanics Institute Chess Club, join us Tuesday, because we will broadcast. And we will do a free Tuesday night event. But outside of the Tuesday night marathon, it looks like it'll be a light September. I mean, we'll still have a monthly USCF rated weekend rapid event. And then we do scholastic events every weekend, actually, because the demand is really high for scholastic chess events, which is like really cool. But because our after school enrichment programs are starting, we're going to be a little bit busy, and I just put our chess website on the in the chat, so you can take a look and see what's going on. But we'll continue to run our free events every week, like we've done literally since the pandemic, and then you can look at the schedule on our website. Keeping everyone informed of our chess activities. And let's go back to this game. Ayan trying to hang in there. We will have FIDE Master Paul Whitehead join at 1 o'clock, which is basically the start of round 2. When all the games are done in this round, shortly after, we'll probably take a break, and then we will resume, about 10 minutes before the round starts, and then cover the round. And then we'll do the same for round 3. When all the games are done, we'll probably take a little short break and then resume the broadcast at the start of the round. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat, because there'll be a lot of downtime. Whoop, didn't mess that up. Because there'll be a lot of downtime between games. Feel free to to ask anything about anything chess related, or about the Mechanics Institute, or what's coming up, or USCF chess politics, which could be controversial at times, local chess politics, which could be complicated and controversial at times. But feel free to ask us anything. And just putting it out there, if anyone out there has something that they want to write about, that you would want published in the newsletter, feel free to write and send it to us. Obviously we'll review it first, and we might use it. I just had Aaron Thompson, who we've actually had on the show. He's a college student. He wrote an article and just submitted it that we might use in next week's newsletter. And we've had other guests write. F. Pond's written an article that we've included. Derek O'Connor, a while back, some of you know Derek, wrote an article about like one of his best games. So feel free. I mean, the Mechanics Institute newsletter, we also want it to be represent the community a bit. So, while obviously, we can't include, everything we get. I mean, if it's chess relevant and reflects, someone in the chess community, it's definitely something we'd love to showcase. So feel free to send us anything you have to say or write. Let's go to this game. Ted Wang, Stuart Katz. Looks like Stuart's looking to launch pawns at the king. And we'll see. Whoa. And we'll see how this works out. Although it's a little tough because even though black is looks very threatening and pushing all the pawns, like after rook takes, I mean, those are some it's a well-placed rook that you're going to double up soon. And I mean, it seems like white's queen's got some good dark squares to move around, so we'll follow and see how that one develops. Going back to Lenderman's game with Ayan, Lenderman's up a pawn, but you can see that Ayan's knight is sitting on a8 with no way out. This is going to be a tough one for him to navigate through. Let's take a look at this game back to Adam Mercado, because I feel like something went wrong for him somewhere. He definitely has the ability to navigate his way out of a tough spot, but I think he's in a deep calculation mode. And you know what? And he played rook b1. With g60 plus 5 time control, I mean, use your time. Use your time. And, I mean, because it's there. It's there to be used. There's no points for playing it quick and playing it fast. And this is USCF rated. So, oops. Okay. I was just checking an email there. Dimplebit's asking, how is this even close? Are you referring to a game or something? I said. Or are you talking about Lenderman and Ion, the rating disparity? And we get the rating disparity here because we got 20 entries for the main event, and and we're trying to figure out why that was, because I think pretty much every event that we've had at Mechanics Online, we've gotten good solid entries. The Tuesday night marathon's fantastic when we had 64. Even our online events, even the free ones. I mean, the San Francisco Scholastic, and we had 89 entries. We had 91 for the Blitz Tournament of the Americas. But for some reason, for this event, we only got 20 entries, and my thought is that it has to do with the fact that it was a 2-day event versus a 1-day event. But we're trying to learn why that was. So if anyone wants to jump in the chat and comment as to why that was, we definitely want to learn it. As we always do, we're always curious how we can make events better or improve upon them. So, but because it's 20 entries and we combine the sections, even though we will still give out prizes in different sections, we had to combine the sections just so that we can have pairings that made sense. So that's why you're seeing the rating disparity. But we do have I am Elliot Winslow in the field. Lenderman is Lenderman, but I mean he is gonna have some competition and some fight to get through. It's not going to be a straight walkthrough, especially with Elliot, who has the ability to summon up a strong performance against a strong player at the right moments at times. So let's see if this weekend is one of those moments. Going back to Adam's game here. So this is kind of a tricky position. I know there's people out there that have the benefit of analysis and what have you, but this is an interesting position. And it's good to see the players using their time instead of blitzing it out. Let's take a look at this. I was a little bit concerned about Stewart's position, and this is tough because now Queen E3. Although everything seems to be holding, it just looks like White's pieces are more active. And then the question is going to be, how can White make them more active? And here's one way White's trying to create more activity, trying to see if he can free up the bishop, open up the diagonal there, undouble the pawn. We'll see how this develops, but at the same time, Black, can't keep pushing the pawns, so let's see how that develops. Let me do an Olympiad check-in. Wesley So did win his game, so he beat Grischuk. So let me see here. Wow. So So defeated Grischuk. Nepomniachtchi beat Shanklin. Carissa Yip. I am Carissa Yip beat Grandmaster Goryachkina. Kosteniuk beat Satonskic. Xiong won against Esipenko, and Shuvalova won against Annie Wang. So the match ended up 3-3. So that was a tie. So I'm guessing they go to some kind of playoff now. We'll keep you posted. Hope viewers don't mind the coverage. So Judith is in the chat explaining something. Yeah, so we have the Blitz tonight. We're having a lot of people register for the Blitz that didn't register for the main event. That starts at 7 p.m. You still can register it, and Judith put it in the chat box right there. It's 9 rounds, game in 3 plus 2, starts at 7 p.m. And that'll be exciting. We expect a lot more people to register as the time approaches, because we know, especially a lot of players that play in our online club, they're loving the Blitz, and that'll be exciting. And they're playing for a cup. The winner gets the Champions Cup, and we will ship it to you. And we're ready to do that. So the winner of each section in the main event gets a cup, the winner of the Blitz gets a cup, and the winner of the Fisher Random will send you a trophy. And that's what it is. And it looks like Lenderman closed the show with the mate there. So we have 3 games left. Let's take a look at Adam Mercado's game. Yeah, I mean, I may not know what I'm looking at here, but this looks tricky for Adam unless I'm missing something. But we'll see. But he looks to me like he's in a little bit of trouble. So going back to Stewart's game here. Still on this move because Ted Wang is trying to open up the diagonal. It looks like, because if he ends up taking pawns, he's going to push c4 and try to open that. Is what I'm guessing the goal of that is. Let me switch to this game. This is on move 15. So. They're playing it slow. This is, I think it's Patrick Cut. Yep, against Danny Cow. Patrick Cut against Danny Cow, as opposed to Daniel Cow. So we'll keep an eye on this game. I'll keep it on this game because this is just like pretty darn interesting. So I'll give you a mechanics update as we're waiting for moves. And Adam plays Queen G4. The update we have for you is we have no idea whatsoever when the Mechanics Institute will open. I know the library right now is doing curbside service, so if you're a Mechanics Institute member, you can request and check out books. You can even utilize the online resources because you can download some books if you're a Mechanics member. But you can also order books from the library, and like a curbside service. You order the books that you want, and then you can come to the Mechanics Institute and pick them up, and what they do is the librarians will put them in a bag. So when you come to the Institute, you go up to the library floor, you say who you are, and they'll give you a bag with your requested books. So they're working hard providing that service. But in terms of the public being able to go use the building, that hasn't happened yet. We're sort of, I think the board of directors and the executive director are kind of following the lead of San Francisco Public Libraries in terms of when they will open and going by that. But The one thing that just seems definitely for sure is that a live tournament at the Mechanics, it may be a while before that happens, and then when we are able to do it, there'll certainly be modifications. So. And yes, and the one thing that we are doing, Judith and I, is curbside trophy pickup. So the 289 player event that we did online for the San Francisco Scholastic Championship on Chess.com and ChessKid. I mean, we had award winners for the various multiple sections, and we've also been doing weekly Scholastic tournaments where I've been mailing medals as either the award of choice or temporary awards. But we just got the okay last week. We've been doing curbside trophy pickup, so we've been contacting the parents of the kids that won a trophy that we're going to be in there on Thursdays and Sundays and fill out a Google form of when you'll be there. And so Judith's been literally arranging when someone's going to come down, and then literally they just pull up to the curb, hand them the trophy, all social distancing procedures are met, and it's worked out really well. And it's kind of fun to see the kids light up when they do get the trophy that they've actually been waiting on for quite a long time. So yeah, the curbside trophy pickup's been a huge success, and it's kind of fun to see the kids happy getting the trophy that they earned. It makes us feel a little bit more normal, because that's all part of the stuff that we like to do when we do Scholastic events. So kids have been very patient, and it's been fun for us to see them getting the reward they've been waiting on for months, literally. We thought we were going to be waiting like a month or two to get them the award, and it ended up being like 5-6 months. So Mechanics Institute, book curbside pickup and trophy curbside pickup. Let's take a look at Stuart here, and he's using his time. He's got 21 minutes left to Ted Wang's 50, but Stuart's trying to work this position out. Let's go back to Adam. He's played Queen G4. Currently the Queen's defending G7. But this is a bit of a pickle. Let's see this here. So putting in the chat, any questions for Mechanics? Both Judith and I are here, so if you got a question for us, feel free. And I mean, it doesn't have to be strictly about the Mechanics Institute. Judith's highly involved in Scholastic chess at a national level. If you have a question about the newsletter, if you got a question about the U.S. Chess Federation, tournaments, there was someone in the chess.com chat, they wanted us to bring back G30, weekend G30 events. I think they must have been referring to the free event that we used to do. So it looks like players, there are those that want a longer time control, but I wonder if G30 is fine, but then G60 is like too long. So let us know. Take advantage of the fact that we're right here, and we're pretty responsive to like what the community wants, I think. But we know what you want by you guys telling us, so feel free. All right, let me, here we go. So knight D3. yeah, I mean, Adams, I mean, he's going to just have to work this out because he is, I mean, he looks like in bad shape. And the problem with this kind of position is that, I mean, it's going to be difficult to create chaos, I think. But if anyone can do it, Adam certainly can do that. Speaking of chaos, here comes Stewart doing what I thought he would do. He is launching those pawns at the king side. This game will get interesting now. Because it seems like both players have, you know, bishops covering a lot of squares. This will be a fun one to follow, and I think what I might be seeing too is the benefits of Stewart using his time in his game, because his position looked slightly inferior early, but it seems like he's pressing forward, and I mean, I'm guessing he calculated some of this out to get to where he's at. Let me go back to Mercado. I mean, to me, it seems like black is just perfectly fine if they castle. Right? I mean, he seems. Yeah, I think if he castles, he's perfectly fine, and then you can get the rooks in the game. Yeah, this will be a tough one for Mercado, who's down the exchange and 4-5, like 2 pawns. Even more now. 4 pawns to 7 pawns, and then now he's down a piece and 3 pawns. Piece and 3 pawns. Although I'm a little surprised he did that, because queen takes g7. Yeah, this is like, it's like crazy game. Let's check on Patrick Cutt and Danny Cow. It's kind of like a regular slow game. Let's take a look at so Ted's captured on d5. As I was looking at the this issue of Chess Life, I noticed, I'm kind of proud of this, and this is due to Judith, no doubt. There's like a membership appreciation program part, like in the back, and in the adult member standings, we rank number 6 in most new adult members. So Continental Chess Association, San Diego Chess Club, Chess Club and Scholastic Center, the St. Louis Chess Club, and Jersey Shore are the only ones that are ahead of us. Actually, we're 5th. So very cool. We're doing our our membership drive for adults really well. We're ranked number 5, so it's super cool to see the Mechanics Institute on the top of a list like that. This is round 1. Wow, look at this game. So Adam is here. He is trying to see if he can make something happen, and it's a little tricky now for Black because I mean I guess Black I think Black can still castle the other way, although it's like fraught with danger. But I thought Black should have castled earlier, even though the queen was like sitting right in front of the king. I just think it would have been safe and it would have been fine. And now there's opportunities for White where it looked like there were none. Someone throwing shade in the chat. Hey, I'm talking about chess, and I'm having a good time doing it. So I'm gonna keep doing it as long as I can do it. So this is round 1 of 6. Remember, this is 3 rounds today, 3 rounds tomorrow. 7 p.m. tonight we have Blitz Championship, which is 9 rounds, game in 3 plus 2, and you can still register for that. So just if you're interested in playing in the Blitz tournament we have tonight, let me put up the link for you. And then you can get like the details. And trying to follow what's going on in the Olympiad. I know Russia and the U.S. Tied 3-3, but I don't know what happens after. James should be perfectly fine here, but it will only take one wrong thing to happen to open a door. Like, I'm already seeing yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say, because the bishop moves, you're looking at a rook taking on d7. So Black needs to be careful here. Although it seems like he can go, because the other thing too is, as it stands now, I mean, the rook can't capture. Let's see what he does. He's got plenty of time. Wow, and here we go. They traded like all the pieces, and here we are at a king and pawn endgame. So they've been just exchanging pieces like crazy. This would be a good game to study for Paul Whitehead's Endgame Lab class, which begins this Monday, actually. Paul Whitehead has been doing a class devoted specifically to endgames, and it's been super cool. And the people that have taken the class have loved it. Goes over king and pawn, minor piece, rook and pawn, queen and pawn endgames. Really cool. So it's designed as a 6-week course. He finished the first session of it, took a week break, and now this Monday begins the next new session. And let me put that info if anyone is interested. It's a super cool class. Paul loves doing it. He does it well. There it is. And I'm curious if this game is destined to be a draw. Let's go check on the action game we're looking at. Bishop e7. Obviously, the d1 rook cannot capture on d7 because of mate on f1. Yeah, it's going to be tough for Adam. He's got to find some tricks here. He's got to look for some tricks. If you're just joining us, this is round 1 of the main event of the Summer Championship. This will be round 1 of 3 for today. The next round will start at 1 p.m. But the games look like they're going pretty quick, even though the time control is game in 60 plus 5. I just think the nature of the first round, and people are just playing quick games. Let's go back and peek on this game with Stuart Katz. And we shall see if anyone can make progress in this. Back to the action game. So in this week's newsletter that came out yesterday, I've been doing stories of chess clubs around the country for the last 2 weeks. I started 2 weeks ago with the Portland Chess Club, and then I interviewed the guys from there, which was really cool to talk to them directly and learn more about Portland Chess Club. Which is very old. It's actually older than Marshall Chess Club, which I didn't know. It's a few years older, actually. I wouldn't have thought that Portland had like such a deep history with their club. And then I did Chess Girls DC last week, which was Robin Ramson. She has like a girls club, and she promotes girls chess in Washington D.C. area. And I reached out to a couple of clubs and a couple of people. I was going to do for the third club, so I'm still looking to find the third club. And I'll have one for next week. But what I did is I sort of did a piece where I sort of related the concept of chess clubs to a documentary that I had seen on Netflix, which is called The Surrounding Game. I know a lot of chess players have seen it. It's fantastic. and you have to watch it if you haven't seen it. It's called The Surrounding Game. It's on Netflix, and it's about the efforts of the American Go Association and people that were Go organizers and players here in the United States to establish professionals in America for Go. And it's sort of relevant too, because if you've ever been to the Mechanics Institute Chess Club, in the back in one of the corner areas, we actually have, it's a chess table, but we have a Go board on it and Go set, and we actually have a little mini Go library. So it is there. Paul knows how to play Go. I've seen Paul teach people how to play Go there, but it was kind of fascinating because these people are trying to they love Go, they promote the tournaments and events. They got a sponsor to sponsor kind of like a tournament series to establish like the first 2 Go professionals, and they did that. But what was interesting is that a lot of what the organizers were going through, and the players, and just like their love and passion for the game, very, very similar to chess and chess players and chess organizers trying to organize an event and try to elevate awareness of the game and promote it. So it was it was a great documentary, a lot of fun to watch. And it had relevance to kind of the articles that I've been doing regarding chess clubs, because it's just a community of players that are like deeply passionate about what they do, and you should watch it. It's The Surrounding Game on Netflix. Very interesting. And actually, I watched another documentary that was really good on Netflix, AlphaGo. About similar to what we have to deal with chess is a world-class elite player playing the computer, like the toughest supercomputer on Go, and they played a six game match, I think it was a few years ago. So for those who haven't seen it, I won't reveal anything, but it's akin to AlphaZero, like playing Carlsen in today's time. And as you know, Carlsen wouldn't stand a chance against AlphaZero. And, just the issue of machine learning and the thought that, as strong as computers are now, it's like watching the gods play chess, as Patrick Wolf likes to say, because there's a lot to learn from self-learning machines, because they're coming up with new ways of looking at chess. And then, we as humans are trying to understand, why they do what they did. And they're obviously doing it because they're seeing something, optimal, that like a human may not think is a good move. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Let's take a look to. Oh, something happened here with Stewart. Let's watch this, because now he's going to win this game. Let me go back. Okay, we were here. Everything looked even and good. B4. King C2. There. And yeah. Oh. Yep, that was it. Although I don't know if there was anything that could be done there, actually. Yeah, he won the game. So, nice win by Stuart Katz. Iguana. Nice win by Stuart Katz there. So we have 2 games left. Let's see if how Adam's doing here. See, the thing with bishop b5, now it's kind of disrupted the connection of the rooks. And actually, black's got threats now with the g file open. Yeah, this one will be tough for Adam. Let's go to this game here. So white's got a pass pawn there on d5. All materials even. Probably go c4. Yeah, this will be a tough one for black also. Going back to this game. And as soon as the games are done, as soon as the first round's in the books, we will take a little bit of a break. And then Paul Whitehead, FIDE Master, will join us for rounds 2 and 3 and possibly even the Blitz. So we will see. We'll see how that goes. The Blitz will be exciting tonight because I think we're going to have a lot of players play the Blitz that couldn't play the 2-day event for whatever reason. F-Pawn's in the Blitz, which is always fun. I know he loves to play Blitz events. Let's go back to this game. Yeah, this game will probably be the last one to finish. Both players are around the same time left, same as here, but black is coming after white now, looking to launch a pawn. And even though black's never castled, king in the middle of the board, just white just did not have enough to put enough pressure to do anything about it. Yeah, so Paul will be joining us later. I want to see Paul play one of these events sometime, like when we have a an event like this. I mean, I would love to see Paul and Lenderman duke it out and play it out. He's still got some game in him. He played it's fun watching him play because he's self-deprecating, right? And he'll he doesn't have it anymore and what have you. But I mean, he's strong. I mean, he does the analysis. I mean, he clearly still has something. And I saw him play one of the Monday Night Rapids that we had at Mechanics, and it's fun to watch him play because he just gets in the zone, and then he hits the clock a certain way to make his moves, and he sort of reminds me of like Patrick, because Patrick Wolf, he's another one that he says I'm retired, I don't play anymore, but then like when he does play or when we talk him into playing, he absolutely loves it, right? He's like a kid in a candy store. And it just chess is in the blood, and you have to play, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm sure as chess players, a lot of us can relate to that. Except me. Like I try to avoid playing wherever I can. Obviously, I'll play a few games in an event here and there, but I just don't have the stamina for long games, because those who know me when I play, if I'm playing a 2-hour time control, I'm always down to the last seconds, and so is my opponent. So I'm used to playing a 4.5, 5-hour game, and then usually coming up short, and then getting a little frustrated at the end. Let me see if I see anything on the Olympiad. As I was saying, India just crushed Poland, so they're playing in the final. And the United States was playing Russia in the other semifinal, and they tied. So I don't know what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen with that? Let's see. I kind of feel bishop e2 here would be a great move, because it cuts off the queen from guarding g2. I think bishop g2 would be pretty strong, or bishop e2. Let's see if black sees that. If anyone's watching in the chat, so I do know that the U.S. and Russia are 3-3. What happens next? If anyone knows, type it in the chat. Yeah, bishop e2 looks strong right here. But I'm only 1800. I could be wrong. So Monsters in the chat, he says Armageddon. Is it Armageddon one match, or is it Armageddon several matches? And the winner of Russia, United States, goes on to play India, who completely hammered Poland in the first semifinal. Just one if it's a tie. So I'm assuming that player will be Wesley So. Only top woman player will play. Interesting. So that's the Armageddon. So would that be Carissa Yip? And Carissa won her game against her opponent, although her opponent was a GM. All right, so we are rooting for Carissa in the Armageddon match, and we will know. We will know the result of that. Carissa Yip, like fast rising female player. So we got a lot of chess this weekend. Like I've been saying, we have the Blitz starting at 7 o'clock. We have rounds 4, 5, and 6 tomorrow of this event. We have Fisher Random. We have a kids event on Chess Kid tomorrow. And then we're sort of taking like a little bit of a break. We still have our free events. We're still doing a Tuesday night online free this week, 5-round G10 plus 2. And we have a couple other free ones that we're doing. But, oh wow, I played Queen F6. Actually, is that bad? Actually, is that bad? Can white play rook D takes D7? Because if queen takes B2, you just play rook E7 check, and then rook F7 check, and then you're gonna mate. Although if you do that, rook takes D7, queen F4 check gets out of it. So yeah. So he can't play rook takes D7 check because, or rook takes D7 because queen F4 check will get out of that. I'm imagining that's why he played Queen D2. Just to keep putting pressure on that. But, I mean, it seems you play D5 and then what? Let's check in on this other game. This one is slowly building, so we're gonna keep it here. And as Judith is advocating for, and as I've mentioned, a lot of our some of our scholastic programs start next week. We are going to be doing continuing to do chess instruction in San Francisco schools. We service about 20 schools completely for free, where we have coach go to the school and do a chess class, and we're going to be doing it virtually. All our scholastic offerings are going to be online. And so we're really excited that we'll be able to do that, and as well as some of our fee-for-service programs also. But I've been talking to some teachers, and I've been hearing a lot of teachers. They're having a lot of it's a struggle for teachers and for students to transition to virtual learning. And one of the things I think is going to be really important for kids is to continue to have enrichment programming as part of their day, especially now, because with everything being online and all the challenges of going to school online, it's going to be really important, for their own mental health and for the parents, so they don't go crazy, to keep have their minds engaged in activities that's learning, that's fun, that might be something different from the school day. So we're going to be offering our enrichment programs online. We've been doing it over the summer. We've been holding summer camps and classes and doing virtual learning. We started our virtual learning right away after the pandemic started. So if you would like to support us kind of expanding our outreach, because we're also looking to identify new schools and new opportunities where we can provide enrichment programming free. Just scroll down on our Twitch channel. You'll see the donate button there. Every little bit helps, whether it's $5, $10, every single penny that's donated directly through that channel goes to our youth outreach program, which directly funds our ability to do in-school programming for free. We're in several San Francisco Unified schools now. We would love to extend that to more schools. We have gotten some terrific support from some foundations to be able for us to continue to provide the programming. But if you're looking for a way to kind of help out Mechanics Institute and help out the chess club and what we're doing, we want it to be for the kids. So if you can help out, donate. We'll send you a nice little thank you letter. And your help and your contribution goes to help providing virtual chess programming in schools completely free to the kids. So click on that button. I've done it. I've donated. And if you can do it, that would be fantastic. That's a great way to support the club. It's provide programming for the kids. And we just added that donate button, and we've had some contributions, which is really exciting for us because it's something we've been wanting to do for a while, and we've just sort of figured out how to do it, and it's cool because a lot of people love supporting the Mechanics Institute and what we do, and supporting us. Like, the number one thing will always be for the kids and helping out the kids and introducing kids to chess. And I think as the Mechanics Institute, that's sort of what we're looking to do. I mean, we want to introduce new people to the game. So there's a lot of talk about, bringing in chess players, bringing them into the U.S. Chess Federation to play rated chess, right? Or introducing casual players to tournaments, right? As another way of bringing in more people into, organized chess. But I'm really interested in looking to bring people that are not aware that chess can be used as a tool of building self-confidence, as a tool of like social empowerment, as a tool to help elevate yourself. So we're trying to identify and make partnerships in the San Francisco community with people that kind of expose them to chess, and looking to introduce people to the game that may not even be aware of it at all and don't know how to play. So a lot of ideas going on here at the Mechanics Institute. And I mean, this game is still interesting. I mean, Adam is down a whole bunch of stuff, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, it looks like James will be okay here, but you just have to watch out. I'm actually surprised that Adam is kind of still managed to at least create opportunities for chaos here. Even though we have another game going on where the material is even, and this one the material advantage is like great. This one by far has the most possible excitement going on. So all the games are done except for two. This is one of the last two games of the round. I like to refer to Adam Mercado's action. Adam Mercado, he never disappoints, and today is no exception, because even if things don't go the way he had planned, he's always playing fighting chess, and a lot of fun to watch. So if Monster is still listening, any idea of what time they'll play the Armageddon in the online Olympiad? And if you read the newsletter this week, both John Donaldson and Nick DeFermian have their own piece on the Olympiad. John wrote his as captain, and he showed a game. Hey, Michael Walder saying hey in the chat, and then Nick covered a few more games and gave an overview, but John is like boots on the ground, so to speak, with the team as captain. Yeah, this will be tough. I'm trying to see if there's any nonsense he can do. So if, like, he takes, and then king takes on d7, queen a7 check. It just seems like he'll always find like a pocket to run away to. But I'm sure he's looking at that. I'm sure he's looking at rook takes d7, king takes d7, queen a7 check. But maybe you want to just keep the rooks on the board. But if the rook goes to b6, for example, it's really not doing a whole lot there. Very tough. Let's go back to the other game that's still going on. And here Patrick Cutt, who's white, is just trying to just make sure that plays it slow, doesn't have to rush anything. Elliot, say nice win. Elliot and Michael Walder in the chat. Hey, Elliot, are you a Go player? Well, actually, same question to Michael. Do you guys play Go? Actually, when I was watching the surrounding game, I was watching AlphaGo. Elliot does. I was kind of like looking at. There were like a lot of Go clubs like in the Bay Area. I was kind of surprised to see. Are they still active? Is that still a thing? Do they have like regular tournaments? I don't know if I've mentioned on the broadcast. It's funny that you learn things because you're exposed. Oh, Chess Dojo, we got rated. Thank you to Chess Dojo for sending 27 our way soon. Very cool. Last year we had people. Oh, David and Kostya. Very cool, very cool. It's nice to see David Pruis and Kostya and the gang. So, hi, thank you for the support. For all the viewers that have just tuned in, we are watching round 1 of the Mechanics Institute Summer Championship. This is round 1 of 6, but we're doing 3 rounds today, 3 rounds tomorrow, all part of Chess Fest 2020. We are going to have our Blitz Championship at 7 p.m. tonight. We're going to have a Fisher Random tomorrow night also, and we're having a Kids Championship on Chess Kids. So a lot of chess action this weekend. We are wrapping up round 1 right now for all of those tuning in. And I think it's a 9-round Swiss G3 plus 2 for later. And it was fun. Like a year and a half ago, we would have David Pruis at the Mechanics calling the action for the San Francisco Mechanics on the Pro Chess League. So that was a lot of fun, and we know Kostya really, really well. He's a professional player, coach, streamer, broadcaster. He does it all. Kostya's awesome, and glad he's doing well. And thanks for the thanks for all the love. Oh yeah, we'd love to do it live. We would love to do any team match live. Judith and I are big fans of team matches and collaborations, and anything we can do, especially live at the Mechanics Institute. We are definitely game, but we're game for a lot of stuff, but they all know that already. So thanks for all the support, guys, and thank you to Chess Dojo Live and the crew. Yeah, we're having this is an adult tournament. The top seed in this tournament is Grandmaster Alexander Lenderman. He won his first round. We got 2 games left in this round. Round 2 starts at 1 p.m. And at 1 p.m., FIDE Master Paul Whitehead will join, and then we got the broadcast crew. And then for tomorrow's round, the later rounds, we're going to have Grandmaster Patrick Wolf join Paul and I and do some commentary. We may even do some commentary tomorrow on, just really quick, on the kids event that we're doing. It would be kind of cool to give the kids a little bit of exposure and cover their tournament. That'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, perfect. Yeah. Just email chessroom@MILibrary, and Judith will take care. Let's go back to see what's going on, if anything happened with the Adams game. Wow, something happened actually. He got back some material. So he ended up delivering a check. Huh, look at that. And then he played there. Takes. He just hung a bishop. So he got a bishop back. So he got some material back, but Adam is still going to have to deal with pawns storming down. But let's see what happens, because now all of a sudden it's a little interesting. For those of you just joining, White was overwhelmingly losing material, And White, Adam Mercado, Mechanics Regular, is just looking for ways to keep the fight going. So this will be interesting. The only other game going on right now is sort of developing slowly. White definitely has an advantage. So we'll follow what's going on there, but Adam Mercado got a piece back, but he's still 3 pawns down in this, but he's clawed his way back a little bit, so he's trying to claw some more. So then we'll see. Yeah, I mean, he was up a piece in 3 pawns earlier, but now he's up 2 pawns. I mean, can you just play G4? The final 2 games of the first round. Yeah, it was nice to hear from those guys, Kostya and David Pruis, and the gang, and really glad to see them doing well with everything they're doing. Why Rook F? Oh, Rook F3 to play Rook G3. Yeah, I'm imagining Rook F3 to be able to play Rook G3 and get the Rook activated. Essentially, it looks like you trying to get the Rook behind the pawns, so create some chaos. This is actually a really fun game to watch now, because right, wouldn't the goal be to get the Rook behind the pawns then, and I mean, it almost seems like the way the pawns are structured don't necessarily help too much, because the queen can use those diagonals. But let's see. And for everyone watching, is there danger? Is there peligro here? Yeah. So right now, if you go Rook G3, be met with Rook G7. With Rook G7, Queen H5 check. Oh wow, Queen F8. It's kind of funny because we're watching this where we're yeah, and Elliot's got like a line that he thinks would have been better. It's like I'm so conditioned to watching Blitz and Rapid that like I'm waiting for the next move to happen, and I'm like, he's gonna run out of time. I'm like, wait a minute, he's got like plenty of time left. So Queen F8. Yeah, I'm imagining Adam's going to do everything he can to keep the queen and the rook on the board. Moves over. So Elliot's in the chat saying that there are definitely a shortage of files. Uh-oh. Queen d6. Actually, can't black play rook h1? Rook h1 check, and then exchange the rooks. And there it is. You just gotta watch out for like a skewer, right? Some queen b8 and then skewering the queen. But now, because all the pawns are connected, see. So Judith's taking advantage of the position to promote the Endgame Lab, which is starting on Monday. So FIDE Master Paul Whitehead teaches an hour-and-a-half class on Monday specifically to teach endgame technique. He goes over king and pawn, rook and pawn, queen and pawn endgames, minor pieces. It's a fantastic class. So if you're a player in like 1500-ish range and want to improve your endgame technique, check out that class. It was a lot of fun. Special appearance by Tony Lama, Mates in 3. Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to have like a Mate in 3 class. I actually miss Tony because he used to be pre-pandemic our Mate in 3 contributor. He'd always come to the chess room, just study mate puzzles. And Paul's run into him on the street, actually. I haven't seen Guido. I haven't heard from Guido. Elliot's asking in the chat, but Paul has run into Tony twice, actually, just in the street during the pandemic. He's doing fine. So yeah. So we know of Tony. We don't know of Guido. So Adam's delivering checks, trying to harass. So F-Pawn is in the chat. He would love to join GM Whitehead. It says GM Whitehead. Grand Marshal Whitehead, maybe. It's not Grandmaster. Oh yeah, we should do an interview with Tony in the if we can get him on. I don't even know if he's ever been on Twitch or anything. We'll find out. We should ask if F-Pawn, if Paul ever needs a sub, we'll hit you up. See if you're up for subbing the Endgame Lab. All right, this will be interesting if White can pick off one more pawn. I feel if White can find a way to pick off one more pawn, standings and pairings are there it is. Elliot beat me to it, but there it is. So if you go there and scroll down, you'll see the pairings. Not the standings yet because this is the first round, but you'll see the pairings. But I don't know if it has the results. While we're watching how this one plays out, this is the other game still going on. Patrick Cutt and Danny Cow. Yeah, it looks like White's gonna break through eventually here. Let me go back to this. White is definitely giving Black a hard time right here. And Adam, to his credit, I mean, he was down a whole ton of material. He was down a piece and 3 pawns and kept trying to find ways to stay in the game. And he's fought back to get to only 2 pawns down. I mean, he was a piece and 3 pawns down before. It's almost like Black's pawn structure sort of betrayed him a little bit because And the other thing, we're still far and away, but you got to do a move count because I haven't seen a pawn advance in a while. No, that lowercase man is Alan. He's asking, why would a 2700 GM agree to play? That's from Alan Finkelstein. Good question. Number one, he's played at the Mechanics before, but I think the answer is that, I mean, in pandemic, if you're home, why not get a USCF rated game if you're available to play? So that's why he was free to play. Guessing there wasn't something else going on, so he decided to do it. And and maybe he sees a challenge in Elliot Winslow and wants to overcome that challenge. That could be it also. But the other reason too is he's played a couple of big events with us before, and maybe he loved the tournament experience and said, hey, why not? I got nothing else going on, might as well play the weekend. Yeah, you guys have some beef going on. I don't know that if Lenderman has a beef with Elliot. Elliot, have you done something that might cause Lenderman to want to get even with you? Elliot would know better. This should be, it looks like it's easily winning. It looked uncertain there for a while, but it seems like Black has started making the progress. So Elliot's saying he's got zero beef with Lenderman. So Elliot, without naming names, is there anyone you do have a beef with out there in the world? Simple yes or no. Oh, speaking of, we're talking about beef and vegetarians. Michael Walder, if you're listening, have you made any of the food that you've been writing about with Alexi? Because I put in the last newsletter had 2 recipes, one from Anand, and then one from Gelfand, I think it was, Boris Gelfand. Oh, all of it. And that's Judith, and she's always up for trying some new food. Very cool. Actually, Michael Walder, if you send us a recipe, we'll put it in the newsletter and then take a picture like you guys do with the chessboard next to it. We need a new Michael Walder recipe.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'll take it out.
I think Michael Walder's saying they are. You're working on a new article, new recipe, new food. Very cool. At least the recipes I've seen so far are not ones that I've any familiarity with. It looks like James is has worked this out. The end should be coming soon. And in the other game that's going on here with Patrick Cutt and Danny Cow, this one is all but over. Let's pick off the pawn. Going back to this game here. Both games. Oh, and that's right. So, yeah, I was going to ask. So I guess the article of Chess and Golf, that's still being worked on. I had suggested to Alexi to do a chess and archery. That would be an interesting one. Do chess and motorcycle maintenance. I think both of these games are going to end up ending at roughly the same time. Wow, and after King D5, there's no checks. No checks. No checks for white. Yeah, and now you just... And the other game has just ended. So this is the final game. The final game of the round is right now. I mean, there's probably like a ton of ways to win this, but Queen E4 check and then Queen E2. Yeah, and this is tough. So see in the chat, you know, Adam got paired with an unrated player, but the unrated player obviously has some chess abilities. So I think Queen D1, and then that's it. And then you're going to promote the other pawn. And Alan Finkelstein's in the chat. So he got his chess.com tactics to 3,000. Do you do tactics daily? Like, I mean, how many tactics do you have to do a day to get to 3,000? And what's the highest? Is that Christopher Yu? Is that Leshensky? All right. one way to look at this is that, well, it was short-lived, but he fought back to just being a pawn down. But now, I definitely don't see any pathway for a swindle for white here. I mean, there's trying to figure out a swindle, but I think this one's a little. This one will definitely be tough. So the next round, regardless, will start at 1 p.m. So even whenever this game ends, the next round will not start until 1 because the games are paired manually by Judith. So as soon as this game ends, we will be taking a brief break, and then when we return, we'll have Paul Whitehead joining the show. And here you go, King E4. There's no checks, or no good checks. Actually, black's threatening mate on H1. I think that's all she wrote here. Hey, so Alan, if you're in the chat, are you doing? Are you high school? Or are you doing it virtual? I'm imagining you're doing it virtual, and what's that experience like? There we go. All right. Congratulations to James Leszczynski for finishing the game. It was it was tense at some moments, but it definitely provided us some entertainment. So the round is in the books. You don't need to enter the result. We have all the results, so you don't have to enter it. Judith has the results. And we will update the standings at the same link that we've been providing, and I'll put it one more time in here. And the second round will start at 1 p.m. So, Finkelstein's doing the tactics. So we will be back. We're going to take a little break right now, lunch break. Judith will update the standings, so just click on that link. And then at 1 p.m. we will be back to continue coverage, and I will have with me FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. And we'll look at what's going on in round 2. Thanks everyone for joining. We will be back at 1 p.m. Come back and join us, hang out with us, ask us any questions, follow the action. Paul will provide commentary much better than me. And then we'll see what's going on. And Elliot will be playing also, so we'll keep an eye on his games. Thanks everyone, and we will be back shortly, starting at 1 p.m.